The podcast that has no mission statement. We just like mission flavored tortilla chips or mission brand tortilla chips. There's a sponsorship opportunity if you are in the tortilla chip industry. I am Brian Noonan. With me, as always, the man who is congested. His nose is running. There's fluids coming out of his head. He's Cody Gough. I can tell you are feeling under the weather because you are not well coiffed today.
No, I literally just got back from the gym.
Oh man! All right, look at you, sweaty Betty.
Yeah.
Johnny Fitness.
Well, we'll get to that in the check-in. But hey,
All
on
right.
today's episode, here's your big preview, which makes us a high-quality production. Brian had a sex dream. Can't wait to hear about that. Relevant. Also, he had a big show Friday. That should be more fun and appropriate to talk about. And then also the ongoing saga of a house that he's been helping clean that I'm not convinced will ever be clean. And I have some questions about that.
Okay.
Quite frankly, I am bringing nothing to the table, which is not to say that I won't talk about anything. I'm sure I will find things to make up as we go, as I often do. And that's about where we're at. So
Perfect.
Let's do a 5-second, 30-minute check-in. This is my quick 30-second check-in. Yeah, I don't usually go to the gym Monday nights for many reasons, one of which is now I'm not showered. So now my headphones have all my sweat and bile all over them.
Gunk.
Gunk, and my hair is all messed up. And I did leg day. So right before we started, I've been a little sniffly because of my allergies. So right before we started, I'm like, I gotta run downstairs and grab some pseudoephedrine. Well, that took about 2 minutes because it's really hard to go up and downstairs right now.
Oh no!
But I feel great, and actually, you will have to deal with the fact that I'm going to eat this protein bar.
I can't wait
on the show. I'll mute the thing so it's not that the audio won't be affected, but avert
now
your eyes.
Are your thighs getting so big that all you're wearing now is spandex shorts?
No. I am getting stronger though. I did 4 full extension from a dead hang chin-ups in a row.
Wow.
Dude, a year ago I could do 0.
I know. I was not mocking. I said it was impressive.
No, I know. I'm agreeing.
It's very good.
Violent agreement. No, I'm
violent. Yeah, it's violent agreement. Oh boy,
I'm
it's
very
gonna be one
happy
of those nights. Here we go.
With my I'm very happy with my progress.
Hi Gina. Hi Linda.
How are you?
You
Brian?
should be happy with your progress. I'm fine. I'm realizing that I'm never not tired. I don't think I sleep at night. I think I may have to go get one of those sleep studies because I'm constantly awake. And then the day comes and I wake up tired. I'm tired throughout the day. Then I'm dealing with the children's at school and I come home and I'm tired. And then I sit down and bang, I'm out. So that could be it. But otherwise, things are fine. I forgot to put on Mother Nature screwed me yesterday. So that's something we could talk about later too. But other than that, today's a fine day. Watching the salmon and the bears in Alaska as the sun begins to set. The bears are out trying to eat some fish. So everything is just hunky-dory.
And we released the first episode of Crafty Brewers, Tales Behind Craft Beer.
I am I was very excited about that this week. I tried to downplay it, but yes, we did. I don't get into, like, I'm the guy who doesn't look at the numbers. That's Cody's deal. I look at the numbers for like this on one platform, so I see how many people listen, and it's always a nice surprise. But I watched it, I listened to it, I did both. I was very happy with it. I'm very happy with I was very happy with the first episode. I'm amazed at, from the first episode to the episode that is going to drop this Wednesday, it's like we became real podcasters in one episode, because it went from really good to tightened, and we learned fast what we wanted to do, where we wanted things to go right away. And it's like bang, bang, bang. And then I had to remember, well, the first episode, we were introducing ourselves to people. So it was a little different. The interview was really good and everything was good. And now it just is a little streamlined. And man, so I'm excited. And I got a good review from a teacher today about it.
Oh, no way.
Yes, she had. I'd mentioned, or some of them had seen on Instagram or Facebook that it was coming out, and they asked me about it. And one teacher, who's one of the big beer people at school, texted me yesterday a little inappropriate. Yesterday morning at like 8:00. It's too early to text me on a Sunday, but she texted me, and I happened to be up. And she was like, "What's the name of your podcast?" And I told her, and she did it. And today I saw her. She was like, "I really enjoyed it. It was very good. It made doing my laundry go so much faster." I said, "Well, make sure you listen to the next episode because it's the whole thing." I'm very happy. Cody has done a wonderful job producing it. I like the look of it. I can't wait to. Yeah, you did a good job, Cody.
Thanks. I put a lot of time into it, as did all of us. I will say, I mean, I don't want to overhype it or overdo expectations, but the one coming out Wednesday, I think, is extraordinary. Like
Wow.
it is so good. Yeah. So even if you don't like beer or don't
Yeah.
care about beer, like this is the kind of episode where there is a story that is told by the brewers that is
Yeah.
so compelling you want to continue listening.
Yeah,
Like
this is what the whole idea. I mean, this is a perfect example of what our idea for the show is.
Yeah. So again, if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, whether or not you care about beer, and it's a little beer heavy the first like 5 minutes, they bust a beer myth. So sure, so skip 5 minutes if you
But
want.
that's fun because people, if you've drunk beer or been around people drinking, you've heard these myths.
No, sure. It will still be good, but if you hate the idea of beer and drinking and you're just like, I can't hear anybody talk about that, it like worst case scenario, you have some allergy to like good content about alcohol. Fine, that's okay. Still, at least listen. Fine, skip a few minutes, get in. But like for anyone, it's such a good episode. So I got it edited and exported and all ready to go. And there's just something I do in the intro, and I'm just second guessing myself. So I'm gonna go after tonight. After we record tonight, I'm gonna take an AI tool and transcribe the show, and then go through the transcript and comb it for a couple specific references.
Oh my
and then,
God!
depending on what I find, I may change the intro, and then I'll re-export it, and then it'll be ready to go. So we'll see, but I'm overthinking the F out of this episode. But I will say it is like, because it is of such a high quality that this is the kind of episode you can share with anybody, and they'll be like, that was a great podcast. Even people that don't listen to podcasts, they'll be like,
Wow.
I might start listening to podcasts. So I will stop hyping it. But
I can't be part of this. This is obviously too professionally an endeavor. Mike said he had some good beer at Penrose in Geneva over the weekend. Oh,
ooh.
I haven't been to Penn. I don't think I've ever had a Penrose. I'll have to go to Geneva, get some beer. I was drinking my stockpile of various Oktoberfests all weekend.
The worst part of this whole beer endeavor is I have been drinking less than ever.
Yeah, I know you keep saying that, and I'm, even when we drink like one beer or maybe two beers over the course of the night when we're recording Crafty Brewers, because the brewers bring some stuff to, product placement. And then what's a beer podcast if you don't enjoy a beer? But Cody always waits till it's over because he's actually working. We're just, we're talking and creating the content. He has to build the structure around which this content is packaged. So
I do, yeah.
We got to get you back.
But also, I don't feel well. Alcohol somewhat inhibits your muscle recovery from exercise.
Oh, okay.
And since it's been such a huge goal of mine, like tonight, I was right downstairs by the fridge. I could have grabbed a barley wine from Revolution, or I've got some Allagash in I've got tons of beer in the fridge.
Sure you do.
No, I just went to the gym. I'm gonna go to bed and I'm gonna have a protein shake with some creatine right before bed.
Nice.
And call it
You'll just hover above the sheets all swole, your electrodes, you're just gonna float. We
Basically-
haven't even been drinking on this podcast for a long time.
Yeah, people probably appreciate that I haven't been drinking as
Probably.
much.
Yeah. Your kids probably do.
Well, let's.
Because you're not a fall down boozer.
We should talk about one of the topics we previewed.
Sure, why not?
About the sex thing.
Well, it was a dream. It wasn't a thing. There was no actual. I haven't had a dream like this in a long, and I know people get bored, quickly when somebody talks about their dreams, but this was very vivid. The only problem is I have no idea who it was that I was having this dream encounter with. I don't remember. I remember vividly the whole thing, but it also ended weird. So this was part of it, but I was somewhere, and this woman was showing me curtains, and then somehow there was, coitus. And after that, I started walking because my car was very far away, and I had to get home to pick up my brothers to take them to a wedding. But my brothers are all grown and I'm grown. And then I don't know. I was walking and it was like on the other side of the city, and it ended up with a car getting blown up. And I don't know, but the intracourse part of it, I can remember everything except who it was. Very nondescript.
Was it a person? Was it a human?
Yes, it was a human lady.
Okay.
But I couldn't tell you anything about the human lady.
And where did it take place?
On a chair. I was
in a house, in like her house?
In a house, like a chair in a large boudoir.
Oh, what's a boudoir?
Bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was sitting because I was going to leave, because I think it was going to happen a number of days. We kept getting interrupted. And so, yeah. And so, yeah, Ken, it was very fine drapery. Room darkening, ba-boom. But every time we started, we got interrupted. So I was finally like, I got to go because I have to walk. I don't know. It was like walking the entire length of Chicago to get to my car. Now, I don't know why my car was up there, but it was near a red line stop. That part I remember. But it wasn't the real red line because it had gone in some weird direction. But then just before I left, it happened. And yes. And so I left, but I didn't even have time to clean up.
You know who I bet this woman is?
Who?
I bet she's a pilot. And she flies an F-35.
Why?
Find the F-35, you'll find her.
Maybe it was Lauren Boebert.
Maybe. That was top comment, Marta. That was terrific. Did you dream when you were in a theater in Colorado?
Oh,
amazing.
Yes. Oh, that is, yes. Maybe I was seeing Beetlejuice the musical.
Maybe she was Beetlejuice. Maybe it was like a gender bending Beetlejuice.
Maybe I had been hearing that story so much that it was in my head. Subliminal suggestion. Now, I wouldn't have coitus with Lauren Boebert to save my life. So maybe
really?
That's why I don't know who this woman was. Maybe
I know virtually nothing about Boebert, but I did hear a 8-minute clip from Howard Stern today, basically talking about how as a congressperson, she's kind of a disgrace, but as a person, she's probably fun to party with and have sex with.
Well, is evidenced by that night at the theater. Yeah.
I know nothing about this woman, but that was Howard Stern.
All you need to know is she's a 37-year-old grandmother.
I've heard that.
That is true. That's not just, that's true. I mean, she's cute, I guess, but yeah, she's crazy. I don't know, but that wasn't her. It wasn't her because there was no gun involved. She didn't have a pistol strapped to her hip. So I don't think it was her. Again, and this, I'm telling the honest to God's truth, because in case Debbie is hearing this, who was it? I don't know. I have no idea. It might have been Debbie, but we don't have drapes. We have blinds. So I don't know who it was. But she sent. We finished up, and I went on my way, walking through the night, and yeah, it got really weird. So that was it. Was just I haven't had a dream like that because I'm an elderly man, so I don't dream about physical interactions anymore. But this one did, boy. This kept me revved up all day as I'm, you know, sitting in the teacher's lounge eating my turkey sandwich. I'm thinking, wasn't anybody I knew from there either. I don't know who. There was no face. It was almost like there was no face on this person.
And you haven't been watching a lot of 90s erotic thrillers?
I haven't. No. What did I have on right before I fell asleep last night? Oh, The Expendables with Sylvester Stallone. I don't recommend watching it. I only watched a half hour, then it was bedtime. But it's from 13 years ago when Sylvester Stallone had dyed everything, including his very arched manicured eyebrows, jet black. His hair was jet black, his crazy eyebrows, and his little goatee. It was all that crazy artificial black. And then he was all tanned and veiny. It was just bad. It was so that didn't trigger the dream. I'll tell you 100% right there.
This is only from 13 years ago?
2010. Yeah.
Really? I thought it was way older than that.
No, I don't. Well, maybe.
I believe you.
No, let me double check because I could be wrong. But I looked it up because I was like, when did this come out?
I remember Stone Cold Steve Austin was in it. That's what I
Stone
remember.
Cold Steve Austin was in it. Randy Couture was in it.
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No. Dolph Lundgren, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Jet Li. It was 2010. Wow. 2012, The Expendables 2, and 2014, The Expendables 3. They just keep cranking them out. Yeah, I had never seen it. Van Damme was the villain in the second Expendables, according to Ken. Thank you, Ken. Yeah, that was so. That was how that day. That was how my night was. Very flustered. I woke up all flustered.
All a flutter, yeah.
All a flutter.
To me, Jean-Claude Van Damme's just hallmark performance was as Guile in the Street Fighter movie.
I never saw that one.
Oh my God. I'll do a movie night with that movie with you anytime.
Okay.
It's a great movie. Like, it's unironically, it's so great. I mean, just Raul Julia's last role.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was his last role. I think they had to CGI him into a couple scenes because he died before post-production was done.
I'm not laughing at Raul Julia dying.
No, of course, you're laughing just at how silly the whole thing is.
Yeah.
There's this amazing scene where he talks about how Chun-Li is mad at him because he killed her family or something. And he's like, for you, it was the most important day of your life. For me, it was Tuesday. And it's just so... It's so cheesy top to bottom. But Jean-Claude Van Damme, so the Street Fighter video game, in the original Street Fighter 2, there's 8 or 10 fighters and they're all from a different country. It's Ken is from the USA, Ryu's from Japan, Blanca's from Brazil. They've got this cast of characters. Well, Guile is from the US, and Guile is an American military guy and camo. And in the movie, he's played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, who is decidedly not American.
Not at all. He's the muscles from Brussels.
He doesn't even fake the accent, which hey, we're a melting pot, man. I get it. He could still be American with an accent, but it was a silly casting choice. And Kylie Minogue played Cammy.
Kylie is in it, yeah.
Kylie Minogue in that movie, one of the hottest women in any movie I've seen. She's just unbelievably gorgeous. And she and Jean-Claude Van Damme were hooking up during the whole production, because how could you not? Because you've got a chance to hook up with Jean-Claude Van Damme or Kylie Minogue. Come on, do the math. Man,
I gotcha.
Man,
I gotcha.
Great. I love them. It's a good movie. It's a fun movie.
I saw a bunch of, I did see a bunch of Van Damme movies back in the day when he was around, but for the life of me, I'm looking to see. Bloodsport. I don't think I saw Bloodsport, but I saw Lionheart, Universal Soldier, Double Impact, Hard Target, and then he went into the Expendables. What movie was it where the whole thing was him doing splits between two chairs? What was the promo for that? Was that Kickboxer?
I don't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I don't
Yes,
remember.
because it was that was the big promotion for the movie. Him like in a diaper. Oh, that was Ken says it's a Kickboxer, and yeah, he's like in a diaper doing splits between two chairs.
Didn't he do the splits between two semi trucks?
Oh, I don't know.
He did I think it was a commercial for like Ford or something.
Maybe.
But I think it was a commercial, but he definitely did the splits between two semi trucks that were driving in like a desert somewhere.
Yes. I do remember that. I do remember seeing was it a commercial? It must have been a commercial.
Yeah.
I don't know. How did we go down the Jean-Claude Van Damme rabbit hole?
Welcome to the Jean-Claude Fan Podcast.
the Jean-Claude Van Damme good podcast.
It sure is. Sure is, Brian.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Yep.
So that's our Jean-Claude Van Damme update. He was so all I know, that was all I knew about the Expendables. I got about a half hour in. The heartthrob in that one was Charisma Carpenter.
Oh,
who was
yes.
in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
She sure was, and Angel.
Oh, yes. Another woman who had a career for a little while and then disappeared. I don't know if she's doing Hallmark movies now or what. I don't know whatever happened to Charisma Carpenter.
No. She was in oh my God, she was in, I feel like she was in one of the Marvel movies.
Charisma Carpenter?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
In a Marvel movie?
Or there was some pretty big film. Hold on,
I'm pulling it
but
up.
we're gonna fact check that right.
We got to fact check. Yeah, she was in the Expendables. She was in Lucifer, Charmed. I'm looking. Veronica Mars, Heaven's Door, Ghostquake.
Okay, that's weird. All right, I'm probably wrong.
Girl in the Woods, Inferno, the making of the Expendables.
Yeah,
I don't see her making any moves into. No, she never made the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She was in Human Pets.
Okay, she was in the Expendables and the Expendables 2, but you seem to be. I mean, I didn't know that it was literally a Marvel movie, but I thought there was something of that caliber, like a bigger movie where you're like, oh, it's her.
She was in Flirting with Danger and Psychosis.
No, Mike asking if she's on OnlyFans.
I would imagine.
I know of.
Not that you know of. Have you been following all the 90s and aughts female TV stars to see if they're on OnlyFans?
No, I don't do that.
All right, that's good. That's probably best.
Yeah.
You don't want to do something like that. That's weird. It's for weirdos.
Yeah,
weird for weirdos.
Love Charisma Carpenter though. Well, hey, speaking of shows, you were in a big show on Friday, right?
Well, you just segued right into that, didn't you?
I had enough of Charisma. It just made me too nostalgic for the
Jean-Claude Van Damme Charisma Carpenter talk. Just no, I did a show at the Rao Center for the Performing Arts in Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake is very far from anywhere, I think. And it's a lovely little town. I've been there twice. I don't really see much when I get there. I roll into town. I'm like, I'm a big shot. I roll in, I roll right out. I don't hobnob. But the downtown area is packed, and the Rao is a beautiful theater. So it was this teacher's show. It was called Teacher's Lounge Comedy. There's a name for you. And so there were 3 teachers on the bill. Myself, Bill Gorgo, who used to be a high school teacher, and then Jeannie Dugan, who is currently a high school teacher, and myself, and then John DeCoste, who we've known for years and years and years. It was he produced it and then he hosted it. The crowd was really big, really good. Is that where you came to see me at the Rao in Crystal Lake?
It sounds really familiar, so I think
Yeah,
so.
I think that's where you came to see me a long time ago. Well, it was packed. It was a really good crowd,
Nice.
lots of teachers from all over, and then people who weren't teachers who had just were either members of, ROW members, or they had, I think they said like 40 walk-ups just for the thing. So there were almost 300 people there, and the show, I had, me, I had written all my stuff, and I realized if you read, this is why I never wrote down my stand-up when I was doing it, because I don't do it how I write it. Like, okay, here's 4 pages of school stuff that I wrote about school, but if I read it to you, it's not funny at all on the paper, because I mean the idea is funny, but I can't write it the way I actually say it, with the, so I had taken a half day on Friday at school, and boy, there's nothing better than taking a half day. There is nothing better, because you leave and everybody's like, all the kids are like, why do you get to go home? Huh? Because I went to college. That's why. So that's my answer for everything they ask. I got to write that down. That's actually pretty funny. But that is my answer. How come we don't get to eat candy in class? Because I went to college. Everything is because I went to college. But there's something to eat, and I don't care what you do for your job. If you get to leave early and everybody else still has to stay, it is one of the greatest feelings in the world. Doesn't matter, because you're like, see you later, suckers. And they're all there toiling away at their job or learning stuff, and you go home. And I was, I had been writing this stuff, and I tried some of it out a couple weeks ago at a show. And I was fairly confident that it was going to go well, but I'm writing it, I'm highlighting things, I prep for that just like I prep for any kind of show. But then I started driving, and I knew Crystal Lake was far, so I give myself enough time. But good Lord, I'm like driving on these 2-lane roads through the woods, and I don't know, maybe Waze tried to take me around traffic because it was Friday evening. It was insane. This is how bad it is. This is how far away from things it is. I had a really hard time finding a Starbucks because I needed some and I rarely, if ever, go to Starbucks. But I needed a jolt, because as I mentioned before, I am always tired. I'm like that character from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Wow.
Who just sits around. I'm tired.
Now, my personal trainer told me caffeine has a half-life, stays in your system for like 12 hours.
Yeah.
So maybe you're not sleeping well because you're drinking after noon.
Oh, no, I don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee in the afternoon. Only like for the show, because I needed a zap. Because I'd come home and I'd taken a nap. And by nap, I mean I fell so deep asleep that if I hadn't set the alarm, I would have never woken up. It was crazy. I said, yeah, now, Barbara, now I know there's a Starbucks right next to the ROW. I didn't know that. I didn't know that till I got to Crystal Lake. I drove through other towns, and I put in, Cody, I'm getting very technologically savvy, because I was using my Waze app, and I put in a search for coffee, and it told me right where Starbucks was, only a few minutes off my route. So it worked.
Yes. Real quick. Speaking of driving, breaking news. For some reason, I'm on Windows 10. What are you on? Or Windows 11? What are you on?
I don't know.
You on a Windows?
I don't know what Windows I'm on. I used to be on XP. I'm not on that anymore, I don't think. Okay. I don't know.
About how do I even see about your PC? Do you remember Windows 11?
This
is relevant because I'm on Windows 11 Pro. Like, I was just a glance. Oh, now it's gone. Oh, no, there it is. I just was glancing. Well, I wasn't even glancing. I was looking at you, and then a little red icon came up in my toolbar, and it said traffic accident at 22nd Street on 83.
Oh my gosh.
Now, why did Windows tell me that?
Yeah, why? Are you driving?
I'm using my computer. I'm in a closet with a purple blanket behind me.
You can tell us. Have you picked up a job at Shadow Traffic?
I don't drive.
You
Brian,
do drive. You have 2 cars.
I don't go anywhere. I worked from home today. Do you know what I did? My boss scheduled like 8 hours of meetings for me and
Oh
my
God.
team. Maybe it was 6. And because we're all remote, he sent us DoorDash gift cards. So
Oh, nice.
I didn't even make breakfast, Brian. I had someone deliver me food while I showered, and then I ate and then sat in the same room for 8 hours. And then I guess I went to the gym. You're right.
You went to the gym.
But the gym is 4 blocks away from me. I don't
You
take
could
an
have walked
interstate.
if it
I
wasn't leg day.
I have walked
You could
on
have
leg
ridden your
day.
bike.
I don't ride bikes.
Why? Are you afraid?
I'm not
Do
good at
you
them.
think you'll turn into Elliot from E.T.?
No.
Ride into space?
Why did Windows tell me? Why is there a widget to tell me about traffic?
Where do you even get a widget? How
I
did you turn your widget on?
It's powered by Microsoft Maps. I didn't know that existed.
Oh my God.
Did you?
No, why would I do that? Why would I know that?
Computers are so stupid.
That's right. Computers are so stupid.
Like what?
I guess we have our title for this episode.
All right, I'm sorry.
No.
Mike, I'm going to turn off all my widgets right now.
I wouldn't know where to find my widgets. Where do I find my widgets?
I have a news story. The state with the most conservatives in America, according to data. Why do I need to know that?
Well, what is it now? You've teased it.
I don't know. It's from Microsoft Start. Is that a news site?
I don't know.
Stacker?
I don't think you're even on a real computer. I think you're on some kind of Russian bot.
It's a listicle. Oh my God. You have to click the arrow to get to each slide, and there's like an ad every 3 slides. I have Illinois is 38. Illinois is 31% of residents consider themselves conservative, 36 consider themselves moderate.
Okay.
I don't care about that.
You don't care about any of that? None of that none of that's for you?
No.
Well, I'm going to make sure my widgets are not on.
It's giving me watch list suggestions for stocks.
Oh, I thought for like communists.
Like, I don't need this. It's powered by Microsoft Money. I bet. Wait, let me guess. Is this weather widget powered by Microsoft Weather? Let's see.
Sure.
Let's see. Yep, there it is.
Are you using a Microsoft browser, Mr. 1912?
This is Windows. Windows is just giving
me Windows is a Microsoft browser.
Unnecessary information. All right. Who do you think? All right, there's the entertainment card. It says trending, the rookie.
Why is that trending? That show's been on for 47 years.
Now, what do you think that's powered by?
Microsoft Entertainment or Microsoft TV?
No, this is a tricky one. Powered by Microsoft Store.
Why are they selling rookie merchandise?
I can't get rid of this stock ticker. Why?
Where is it coming up on your toolbar on the bottom?
Yes. Oh wait, can you cryptocurrencies? Never mind. I'm gonna keep that.
Well, see, I have a weather thing down there. It just shows me a moon and 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh my God.
Oh, but then if I click on it, then I come up and I've got all kind of widgets. I've got traffic widgets and Newsweek widgets and Business Insider and top stories and games. And I get all kind of stuff if I click on it, but that's why I don't click on it.
I am now watching every time I click on the stock widget, it just opens up Tesla's website. I'm not even kidding. How do I make this go away?
It's all in cahoots. This is fascinating.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry for that.
No, that's all right. I'm glad you were shocked. We've all learned something, I think. We've all learned something here. That
so stupid.
I didn't realize that if I did that, I would see, I could see some stocks too. I could learn about that. I know that Hurricane Lee is gone. Here's what else is lurking in the tropics, according to the Washington Post. Reader's Digest is telling me that they have a retirement planner. 18 mistakes that people make before they retire, like not having good jobs. Yachts and cars. Michigan plans to start taxing cars based on distances driven, threatening the right to drive. Then I have the option to see more. I don't want to see more. I don't want to see more at all. So I'll just finish that story by saying the show went great. The teachers loved it. John DeCoste had brought some pizzas from a Crystal Lake Pizzeria that were delicious.
Ooh.
And yeah, so I did the show. We hung around. I stayed till the show was over, and we had a good, it was nice to see the other acts. And so, yeah, it was great. So hopefully now we're going to be taking this around to different places in different districts and doing the show for teachers, because it was really fun doing all the school material to people who knew exactly what I was talking about. And there was, a lot of stuff just came out because, well, I do a lot of stream of consciousness here and on TMJ and everywhere. So if I start rolling, which I did, then a lot of stuff comes out that I did a whole thing on the school nurse, and I had to come out after and write it down because I was like, I hadn't planned on talking about the school nurse. And all of a sudden I did like 3 minutes on the school nurse, and it was like, oh man, that people were screaming. I got to write that down. So I just did what I used to do and just wrote bullet points, because that's how I always wrote my material. So that is that. A lot of bullet points, Cody. That's the key.
Yeah. Bullet
points.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So there you go. That's it. That was my big. I was planning on going to it's Oktoberfest week. We are Oktoberfest months. There's Oktoberfest at breweries every weekend. And I had a plan. I was going to go. I'm actually going to invite you to one, it's family friendly. So you can bring the children's.
What day?
September 30th.
Ooh. It's the day before my children's baptism.
Listen, get the kids liquored up and let them meet Jesus the day before.
We'll see.
As all four of you are hurling and going, oh God, you don't even have to go to the church.
Actually, that Friday night, my wife wants us to go to a Nick Cave concert.
Oh, nice. That Friday night, I'm going to cheer for the Milwaukee Brewers as they beat the Chicago Cubs to death.
Wow.
In Milwaukee. I can't wait. I've never been to the ballpark up there. Used to be American Family Field. I think now it's American Family Field. Whatever it is, it's where the Brewers play, and it's domed. It's got a retractable roof. It's supposedly very, very nice. They got sausage races, and they got all kind of stuff.
The sausage races.
Yes. They have like a hot dog and a bratwurst and a Polish sausage, and they race.
Oh.
Like big mascots. Like real people in sausage suits, and they run.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be fun. Nice. It's going to be fun. So anyway, the roof, why Mike's poo-pooing the roof leaks. It doesn't matter. Oh, look who's watching the show from some sunny confines in the great state of Florida.
That's right. She's still in the FL.
She's in the FLA, as they used to say. Yes, Catherine Vallow, my co-host and Cody. Well, you're the producer. Catherine is 1/3 of the powerhouse tripod that is Crafty Brewers, Tales Behind Craft Beer. And so she's in parts unknown, except we just said where she was, so I guess we do know.
Well,
yeah. Who knows?
Not specifically. There's a lot of parts of Florida.
No, it is one big part of Florida.
I learned
swamp.
Swamp
and giant bugs.
South Florida has a burgeoning startup entrepreneur ecosystem. Did you know this?
No. How far south?
It's like the new Miami? It's like the new Silicon Valley, apparently, except not
really?
Silicon. Yeah, it's like this whole
cigars and fentanyl?
No, I've been doing some work for a startup, and I've been interviewing startup founders and VC investors and other entrepreneur ecosystem people, and a bunch are in South Florida, and they're like there's some. I talked to this guy that works for a university down there that just opened this like multi-million-dollar public-private partnership startup accelerator like resource center thing for people. Barbara, the next beer podcast comes out Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. You wouldn't think.
I'm surprised. Is there no like state income tax down there? Are they more corporation friendly?
Here's what I'm thinking it is. It's probably because they probably let biotech startups experiment on people.
Right. Between people and manatees, they have a lot of human organisms. Plus, they
Right.
probably go into the swamp, they poach gators and those pythons that have been brought in from other parts of the world. And
Right.
so they can do all kinds of testing on them. So if you ever go out in the swamp at night, you may come across some genetically altered beasts that are living down there in South Florida. And I'm still going to stick with the fentanyl and cigars. That's probably a big thing too. Plus, they were building like an insane amount of condos and things in Miami during this big boom, and now they're a huge problem filling them. So they have a lot of construction and a lot of big empty, condo buildings and things down there. So maybe that's why. Maybe places can get, office space dirt cheap.
Who wants an office?
Not me. I don't want an office. I don't want office space. I don't even want to watch Office Space anymore because they all got to go to work. Who needs that? No gracias, amigo. No gracias. All right. So you got to have something on your list.
I don't.
You got nothing? How can that be? You got nothing?
All I've been doing still is really just a lot of work. A lot of work. Not work.
All right. Here's
no. You know what's nice? Here's what I will tell you is what my life has been. So I've got my full-time job. I also have been producing and hosting and launching a podcast for a startup.
Yes.
That I mentioned last week may go live this week. I guess it's going live next week. I don't know. It's cool. It's great, but it was a lot of work. And then also we've been recording Crafty Brewers.
Yes, we have.
And setting up the launch. And it's more work up front. You do a lot of podcast setup up front, right? Getting on the podcast. Yeah, I do. Getting on the podcast apps, getting the descriptions and the titles, and things are SEO optimized, and the artwork and all that. And there's a lot of setup. So originally the plan was to launch both shows at the same week, like a day apart. That's a lot. So I was really slammed. And I was sitting on 20 recordings because I've got 4 or 5 episodes of Crafty Brewers. I've got 10 episodes of this startup podcast. They're all just sitting there waiting to be edited. So I've had this horrible anxiety, but now that we're kind of on track and on schedule and things are released and I got some editing help at the startup, now when I'm done with my day at work and the kids are in bed and it's just time to chill, instead of playing video games, I'm ooh, I can practice my craft now.
Ooh.
And then I stick our video from Crafty Brewers in my editing software and I do my thing, and I really like editing. And
nice.
I really like the storytelling element and picking out the good parts and finding the little tweaks that make it look and sound better. And it's I've been able to enjoy my craft more, which is really nice. And so now I'm really having I was having fun doing the recording sessions,
right?
But now that I'm also doing this stuff and we're on track schedule wise, I'm having a blast. I'm having so much fun with it. So I'm just but to that end, I've paused all my other projects in the meantime. I haven't been playing video games. The table is just sitting on my garage, taking up.
Oh, you got to finish that table.
I haven't touched the table in a month and a half. My wife is we need to, you need to move
we need to finish that table. That's what the holidays are for. Over the holidays, don't spend time with the kids. Just do your table. Do all your other crafts.
Yeah. Diane in the chat asked what podcast player shows the video. So you can watch the full videos of Crafty Brewers episodes on YouTube, or Spotify. We actually host on Spotify for podcasters, and there's video there. So if you go to Spotify, it will play the video. I'm not sure if you have to be on web or if it'll do it on mobile as well. But some version of Spotify will do it. It does convert into an audio only podcast for Apple. So if you're on Apple Podcasts, you'll just have to go to Spotify.
Just have to listen. You know what we look like.
Yeah, there might be other apps where it's supported, but as far as I know, your best bet will be YouTube or Spotify.
There you go.
So
yeah, it looks good. I don't,
yeah. But anyway, all that is to say,
so you're working your craft. You're enjoying it. I'm
No,
glad because
indeed.
I don't want you to quit now. We just started. We're only releasing our second episode.
No, it's a good time. Anyway,
We
all
got a
that is
bunch in the can, as the
all,
kids like to say.
all that is to say, I just don't have that much to talk about because, like, it's really just I've just been doing these projects, and I've got I could tell a million stories about my kids.
Sure.
Like yesterday, oh my god, what am I? And they say such outrageous things at such a fast pace, you just lose track of what they said.
You got to record them at all times.
Um, he he drank a sip of water, or he had a little glass of orange juice, my son.
Okay.
He just turned 3, and he drank it a couple times, and he just, like, finished it really quickly, though. And I was like, "Wow, you drank that fast, bud?" He goes, "Yeah, I really pounded that glass."
Nice.
And just hearing a 3-year-old say, "I really pounded
He
that."
pounded it. He probably listens to you talk about your beers, how you pound those, but pound maybe your protein shakes or
Yeah,
pound something. Your kid, he's a barrel of laughs.
yeah.
I got to get him. I got to get him alone for a while. Not alone, just me and him, but like he could come over with Debbie and myself. I don't want anybody saying anything weird, but I want to see him pound some stuff.
Yeah, you don't want my daughter. Only the son is invited.
No, she can come. She's getting. She's not. She's past the point of being like breakable. Really, newborns are too fragile. They're like porcelain dishes. Not that I dropped your son when he was over here. I never would admit to that. And I've sworn him to secrecy because he knows not only would he pound his orange juice, he'd get pounded if he, snitches get stitches. That's what I taught him early. Ask him, what do snitches get? They go, I can't tell you. Brian told me I can't tell you. That's what I told him. They get stitches. But to know your daughter is always welcome. I don't think you trusted us with your son till he was able to tell you what we had done to him. So I don't know if you want to, you could break the cycle and bring your daughter over.
At this point,
she's very cute. She's lovely.
She's adorable. At this point, I trust anybody with my kids that will just give me like one night of decent sleep.
I'm trying. Your son slept well when he was here.
Yeah.
Except, no, he always slept well. The last time it was the I will not. I love that. I used that the other day. I don't know why. Out of the blue, I just started. Debbie was saying something. I will not. I will not. And I was doing it in his voice. And tell him yesterday I made eggs and toast for breakfast.
Oh my goodness.
Sausage and hash browns too.
I make a lot of eggs these days.
Eggs. Well, you're bulking up. You're just trying to get too swole for your own good.
You do. So in order to maintain and grow muscle mass, you do need to eat like roughly a gram of protein per pound you weigh.
Holy cow.
Dude, I literally I'm supposed to be, if I want to like bulk up or really get swole, it would be like 200 grams of protein a day. So I was consistently hitting like 130 to 150. I don't know.
What does that mean in reality?
Okay, so eggs. I have eggs for breakfast every morning. That's 30 right there.
For one egg is 30?
No, for like half a dozen.
Oh my Lord.
Well,
you got to eat a half dozen eggs?
I can eat 8. I can literally eat 10 eggs in a sitting.
My boy Luke says you can eat 50 eggs.
Well, no man can eat 50 eggs.
Well, let's see. Let's find out.
An egg that I get has 6 grams of protein, and I usually have 5. So actually, that's 30.
Now, do you buy special jacked up eggs?
No.
Or are these just regular old grocery store eggs?
Cheap old grocery store
Catherine
eggs.
is done with us already. She already she's finished with us. She's had enough. She's
doesn't
moved
take
on.
a lot, I imagine.
No, we're a lot. Anyway,
so I get 30 grams from the eggs, easy every morning for sure. I always have a protein bar mid-morning. And that has another 20. So we're at 50 already. Right. And then
what's your protein bar of choice?
It's called Think High Protein Bar. It's always on sale on Amazon. I get the peanut butter one. It's pretty good.
Nice. Okay.
Good. Then I usually have a protein shake at some point during the day, which is another 25. So that's what are we at? 75.
Yeah.
And then around, for dinner, I'll try to have meat. The vegetarian thing just kind of stopped happening. I don't know where the status is. We just I had leftover meatloaf today. So
don't ask about it. Just
okay.
Keep moving on. You like the meat. You got the meat.
Yeah, but we have salmon at least once a week, usually twice. Salmon.
What's higher in protein, the beef or the salmon, or like chicken,
I
or
don't
is it
actually
all the
know.
same?
I don't actually know.
All right.
But again, but I don't closely track my protein intake much for each meal. So I
Okay.
usually would figure from the other meat I would have during the day another 50 or so, and then somewhere around lunchtime I'd have something that would give me like 30 to 50. So again, between a 130 and 150. Um, that's a fish on your
That's a salmon, Cody. That is a salmon from Alaska. You eat that? Do you eat that fish?
Mhm.
I just wanted you to see what you are consuming.
Yeah, that's it.
There it is. That's a salmon waiting for a bear to eat it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good. Oh, and I have there's a casein protein. Do you know about this?
No.
Casein
Casein protein?
protein. It's derived from dairy, and it's slow release, like slow digesting, like it kind of
Oh.
digests over like an 8-hour period.
Boy, that's what they said about OxyContin.
Is it?
Slow release. That was the thing. It's not. So wait, are you chopping it up to get the full protein hit right away?
No, I have it before. I just put a scoop in my drink. I get a 25 grams of casein before bed. It supposedly
Okay.
takes longer to digest, and
So you're
I do that
you're getting
overnight.
swole as you sleep.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
One day you're gonna wake up like in Hulk pants, just all shredded up.
No, since I started a year ago, my bicep circumference has increased by an inch,
Nice.
and then my chest, I think, an inch or half an inch, and then my waist like an inch, fine, and then my quads an inch or so. So I'm
How
getting.
long till you can just wear bib overalls?
I do that. I'm not wearing pants right now.
That's well, sure you can't fit into them. Got to buy those athletic cuts that are really wide in the thigh, then taper down so you don't look like you're wearing balloon pants like a clown.
Well, that's all I have to tell.
That's it. That's
The
all you
only
got.
things in the news I'm aware of are that we lost an F-35 fighter jet, which
Right?
is
That's gone. We don't know where it is.
well, they found it, I think, but par for the course for just life. And then Lauren Boebert did her stupid thing that I don't really care about. And then
I don't either, except that she's a dirty girl and she's a hypocrite.
yeah, there's no AEW drama because CM Punk is gone. So the only drama left to talk about is your ongoing, never-ending project that I don't understand how is possible. You're still cleaning your mom's house.
Well, this
Now,
is not really cleaning it now. Now we've moved into construction.
What? Oh,
Now we've moved into demolition and construction.
okay, what are you demolishing?
Well, I'm not demolishing anything. I'm hiring people to do demolishing. The garage had some structural issues. There was some of the ceiling drywall had black mold on it. So that tells me, and I'm not Lou Manfredini, but that tells me that the roof is leaking. So a guy I've known since first grade, a buddy of mine, is an architect at a contract, and he works with contractors all the time. So I asked him if he could just come over and I'd show him, he could look at the problems and look at what we needed to have done, and then he could recommend the people to hire. Because I figure he's not going to steer me wrong. It's not going to turn into like the 6-month ordeal that her front door was, where she got duped by some contractor and then went all last winter with just plywood for a door instead of not having a front door. So he came over and he was like, "Oh yeah, this is easy. I know a roofer, and they'll come and take a look at the roof. And I know a guy. Yeah, Monique, he's got a guy. He's got a couple guys. Honorio was his guy on Saturday." My dad and my uncle had built these big cabinets in the garage for storage, which was, if you recall, that was my last big purge when I went and cleaned out all the cabinets. So my mom wanted to leave one on the sidewall and take the one in the back out, but she wanted to take it out so it wouldn't damage the paneling that was behind it. And he had to cut out the piece of drywall so we could see the beams to see if they were rotted and all this. And for some reason, when they did the garage, they only taped and mudded half. The back half of the garage had mud on the drywall seams. The front half did not. So that's on the list. But anyway, I get a call from my buddy the other day And he's like, okay, the guy's going to be there at 7:00 Saturday morning. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. In my mind, I'm like, oh no, I got a show Friday night and I'm not going to get home. And oh no, what's going to happen? But, outwardly, I was grateful that we were moving things along. I had to buy a dumpster, not rent a dumpster like the big steel ones. I was advised to buy this dumpster bag. Have you ever seen these? You
No.
go to Home Depot and they're good for they're advertising for small home improvement projects or landscaping projects or stuff. They hold like 3,300 pounds. And you buy them, they're folded up. They're like really heavy, reinforced grocery bags almost. And you unfold it. It's like 4 feet high and 4 feet wide and 8 feet long. And it sits there. And so that's what I had to get the dumpster. And I wanted to be there before the guy came because I know, listen, the chance of my mom getting up at 7:00, not going to happen, So thankfully, I have the key. I have her alarm code. I have access to the house. I got there at 6:30. The night, so I get home from the show Friday night at midnight. And now it's, when you have to get up real early, but you're worried you're going to oversleep. So you don't sleep at all. That was kind of Friday night because I knew I had to be up at 5 so I could leave the house before 6. Because, I had to be out there. I didn't want the guy sitting in the driveway waiting for me to show up.
Playing Hearthstone.
Oh, what is Hearthstone?
It's a video game on your telephone.
I wasn't. Oh, he would be playing Hearthstone.
I'm going to play that right now.
I don't know what he'd be doing. He did show up at 7:01, but then he sat for about 10 minutes and ate his breakfast. I didn't begrudge him.
Ooh.
That was fine. Long story short, Honorio did a great job. Because at that point, once he got started, I was starving. I hadn't stopped for breakfast. So,
oh no.
Right. And now I can't leave because my mom is still asleep. And I don't want to leave him in case he needs something, or if, so but I decided I'll go in. I sat down. I fell asleep for about an hour and a half.
Wait, but if you left, then you could maybe the Oreo could have played Hearthstone.
I don't know if Honorio plays Hearthstone.
I bet he does.
You think everybody in the trades plays Hearthstone?
Yes,
everybody
they definitely play Hearthstone.
Okay. All right. What is it that makes it so appealing to men and women in the trades?
Pull up a chair.
Is it a fiddle game? What is it? What do you do? Do you just sit by a fireplace and rock and smoke a long pipe? You have no microphone now. Your audio is dead.
It's a card game. You have monsters fight each other.
Oh, I don't know. Honorio didn't seem like the kind of guy who was into monster fighting card games.
Well,
he seemed like a man who was. He seemed like a man who was. He was not messing around. And this is why I'm not crafty. Oh, I wish.
You're part of the magic of this place.
What? I'm leaning in. What? I don't know why I'm leaning into the microphone. Sound doesn't come out of the microphone. Sound goes into the microphone.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. No, that's fine.
And I want to hear the guy say more things like,
I do too.
Ha! Pull up a chair.
Is there a soundboard for this game that we could
I'm looking.
We could download and you could just have to violate copyright?
I'm definitely going to do that right now. All right, go
All
ahead.
right. No, I don't know.
Tell me more about the Oreo.
No, Honorio, not Vincent D'Onofrio. Vincent D'Onofrio was not working in my mom's garage. But now I'm afraid that I'm going to get a call because he got done what he was supposed to get done. My buddy, who is like you, a perfectionist when it comes to certain things, there's a window in the garage that needs to be replaced. My dad died about 20 years ago. Before my dad died, they had ordered these glass blocks to put up in this window. They've been sitting in the garage for well over 20 years. So my buddy didn't want an Oreo to try to put them in. They can be put in, but he wants to be there when the windows are getting put in. So I have a feeling that I'm going to be that they're going to be back out there Saturday morning. And so I'll be back out there. But then it's almost done. And then I'm off the hook. Except there's still a pile. One pile. I can't get her to commit to getting rid of this one last pile. I'm so close. So close to being done until next year. Then she already has projects ready for next year. Siding. But it's all projects I can't do. I just have to oversee, which is fine. But yeah, this is an ongoing project. That's why my house is completely falling apart because all I do is work at her house.
Yeah, my office has seen better days because I'm too busy doing stuff in it to clean it.
Yeah, cleaning is overrated.
My kids were home. We were all home Sunday. We all actually had some time to hang out. And I'm like, all right. I think they were both asleep, or one had just gone to sleep. The other was up. My wife was around. And I'm like, great, I'm going to clean my office. I threw one thing away that was on a table.
Okay.
And there was a pin. I got like a commemorative pin when I played in the Dune tournament.
Oh, yeah. I remember you saying that.
I pulled the back off the pin because I was going to put the pin up in my little production closet somewhere, put it down, ended up doing stuff with the kids immediately after that.
I don't blame you.
That's as far as I got.
Who wants to be out doing, playing with a pin when you can play with your kids?
I don't know.
Probably everybody. No.
But look, if neither of us have
we're done.
anything,
We can be done. Yeah. We don't have to
We
stretch.
don't
have to stretch tonight. We got things to do. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Honestly, when I got out of the car, when I got home from school today, I thought, man, I wish I'd been in another gunfight so I had a good story for the show tonight. But that didn't happen. Nobody tried to knife me. I didn't come across any samurai who tried to split my melon with a long sword. So there was nothing like that happened. Nobody, nothing crazy, no aliens in the yard or anything. So it was just me and an Oreo on a Saturday morning in my mom's garage. And that was, me and an Oreo down by the schoolyard, doing our hand jive. Woo-hoo. But yeah, that's it. I got nothing else. I just I'll let you plug the big podcast again. This one first. I'll plug this one because like I said, I'm always happy when I go and see people have listened and downloaded it, and it's very exciting. So thank you for your continued support of this podcast. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like. Cody says 5-star reviews are very important. 5-star reviews, is that right?
Well, they're not important, but they're nice.
They're nice. Well, they're nice. Yeah, because we like our egos stroked. Maybe I have a dream about that. Somebody stroking my ego. Good morning.
Let's go. Yeah, but no, seriously, check out Crafty Brewers Wednesday. It's gonna be phenomenal. I mean, the first episode's great too. This one I think is very special, and then we'll be bi-weekly after that, so we won't constantly cram content down your throat. Not Crafty. We will. Realities may vary. We'll still do this every week. But Crafty Brewers, because you need brewers to interview to release episodes, and brewers are not available every week. So after this week, it will be bi-weekly, which means the next week, perhaps we won't talk about it as much.
Correct. But it's new. So it's like anything that's new. We want to, we want to get the word out because that's the only way to, I guess, spread the word. So, yeah, so we will, somebody earlier in the text said, make sure we enunciate when we say Crafty Brewers. Crafty. We may have merch for that one too. So keep an eye out. There's a lot coming up. Maybe you want a nice, I do have this. I did wear this shirt on the Crafty Brewers trailer, I believe. Mike, thank you. So Mike did watch.
My wife watched like a second of the second episode and was like, Brian's shirt collection is just phenomenal.
Very colorful. I'm waiting for the fall and winter tapings where I can go to more hoodies. I'm already thinking, I got to get some more beer hoodies or bar hoodies. Keep my brand. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Thanks as always for your support. Cody, thank you just for being you and for coming in on leg day. I know how hard it's been for you to stand up.
It
It
has.
has.
You have no
I
idea.
really don't. I remember leg days, but I don't. I do. I do. Marta, listen, I have all the strategies, but she's 86 and stubborn. So one night,
She's 86? I thought she was like 92.
good Lord, how old does that make me?
104?
Yes, I am 104. I was born before my mother.
You're a time
I
traveler.
am. I've come back in time to save you all. Drink with me if you want to live.
I go back in time. Do. Gotta get back in time. Do. Get me back in time. Do. It's from the Back to the Future sound.